The following podcast may contain some adult language. You've been warned.
Welcome to Finding the Narrative, a Genesis RPG podcast. This is a show dedicated to the Genesis role-playing system created by Fantasy Flight Games and produced by Edge Studio. A show in which we, your hosts, discuss all things Genesis from both the player's and a GM's perspective. I'm Tony Fanning, and with me, as always, are my good friends and co-hosts, Chris Holmes and Stefan Dragonspawn. How we doing, fellas? Starting with you, Chris. How you doing, homie?
I am tired, recovering from my time out in the desert last week. Golfing. Trying to golf. Getting sand blasted by... Man, I golfed in 30-mile-an-hour winds in the fucking desert. Ow. Let's just say I almost got like a nice clean shave while that was going on. But anyways, yeah, it was pretty fun.
For the record, was someone holding a gun to your head telling you had to do this?
No.
Oh, you're way more motivated than I am.
Buddies. Yeah, I was hanging out with my buddies. You know, my buddy Scott has put together this hackers tournament that's been going on for years and whatever, and he's the guy that introduced me to D&D. So, you know, we reminisced and we tried to game. No, we didn't game. But how you doing, Stefan?
I'm doing good. I'm in beautiful downtown Bloomfield on location, so with the windows down in my car and in the parking lot of an abandoned convenience store and a garage on the other side.
If you see a helicopter throwing turkeys out, run.
Yes, yeah. Frozen turkeys. I swear they could fly. Well, wild turkeys can fly, but not for very long. My friend Daryl came over from Montreal over the weekend, and we had fun. We played some Dice Throne, card/dice game, another board game with my husband called Pompeii, which is Michael likes, and Unstable Unicorn, which is always fun. It has the non-safe for work expansion. So
nice.
Yep.
Carol, otherwise known as the Gaming Ho.
The Gaming Ho. Today we went to one of our favorite breweries by a nice river. It was like an old building that they renovated. So it's a nice pub/brewery and patio. And yeah, so we had a nice meal there, and we hit on our server, Davis, mercilessly, Michael and I. So he was a good sport about it.
Nice.
So yeah, now we're back here, ready to talk about Genesis. How are you, Tony?
I'm doing all right. First day back to work today from the weekend off. Wasn't really a weekend off. It was an emotional roller coaster of a weekend. My youngest son moved out. He got his own place, and I helped him move. But in the process, had both my boys all evening Saturday evening to hang out, and that is what life is all about. So, it was good. I was an emotional, bubbly ball of man meat by the end of the night. But hey, you know,
nothing wrong with that.
That's right. That's how Stefan likes his men.
Yeah, bubbling.
Yeah.
Bubbling in a heap.
We were drinking mead.
Awesome.
Yeah, so it was a good time.
Good. That's awesome.
But we're here tonight. We're going to do episode 89, which is the second part of our deep dive or blueprint viewing, I guess. I don't know.
Sure. Review.
Of the gear creation system in the Keyforge setting. And I've entitled it, All Right, Suit Up.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
everybody. Welcome to Sleeping Signal. This is where Stefan shares all the hot Genesis news that's fresh off the wire and reviews a project or projects from the Edge Studio section of the Drive-Thru RPG. What you got for us tonight, Stefan?
Well, thank you, Chris. I've got two little things, two products that came out recently. They're tied in together because the second one is a supplement to the first one from our very prolific friend of the show and Genesis writer Chris Markham. A product called Arcanum, where magic is real. So it's like an alternate Earth, where so a little bit. You could think of Supernatural maybe, or Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Not even that. Sometimes just like Dresden Files or other series where magic is something that exists as well as supernatural creatures. So in this one, he writes that briefly, an alternate Earth where a great comet in 1901 came close to the planet, unleashing lots of magical energy with ley lines erupting all over the world. Things that were legend or just myth are now coming to the fore. Powers that, as he says, once reserved for those who spent decades mastering even minor abilities, that were now manifested in everyday people. So he builds it a little bit as a spell noir environment. So you've got gangsters that exchange spell attacks and bullets. Vampire nightclub owners make deals with demon touch mob bosses and eldritch horrors. So maybe a mix of Cthulhu as well thrown in there. So
makes me think of that show that was just on, what was it, HBO Max? What was that, Tony? That we watched that had the women that had mostly women that had the superpowers or whatever kinda.
Oh, you had to ask. I don't know.
I did. Forgot what the name of it was, but it was cool.
Yeah.
We'll remember.
Yeah, we'll think of it.
We'll remember it later, probably. Yeah.
That one, by the way.
That's it. All right. So just to add on, okay, so he includes 9 archetypes of humans and variants, including the god-touched, demon-touched, psychics, etc. Well, there's careers, adversaries for the spell noir settings, new skills and talents. It talks about the psionic disciplines, a little glossary of terms and vocabulary for that period of time, and a lot more detail. It's pretty well written. The layout I like, evocative of a noir setting with typewriter font and the newsprint type background. So
that's cool.
So yeah, and so that's $8.99 on Drive-Thru RPG. That'll be a link in the show notes. And the second product, because that goes hand in hand with that, called Arcanum Artifacts. So in this one, Chris adds some supplements, which includes 20 different artifacts from history based on each actual real-world lore, but with a magical twist for each. So he's got items such as Anne Boleyn's necklace, the Jersey Devil's tooth, a lot more as well. So that's the details. And each one has like a little quirk about it. Like, yes, when you do use it, there might be a little drawback or a side effect, not always positive. But he says also that while it was designed for the Arcanum setting, the items could be used in any urban fantasy setting. If you don't like the 1920s kind of or early 1900s period, you can move it forward. A little bit more recent if you want, and it would still work. And that one is only $2.99. So there you go. So a little bit of magic in the 1900s.
The Nevers.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Nevers. That's the one I was. I don't know. For some reason, you just describing this when you're reading through that there, Stefan, it just made me think of the Nevers for some reason.
Oh,
I don't know.
All right. Could be. Yeah, you could adapt it with this book, I guess. Could help.
Could be.
I imagine.
Could be cool.
So there you go. There you go, Chris. Mr. Markham. Boosted your signal a little bit. Hopefully that helps and exposes a little bit of your product to other people. So go ahead and check it out.
All right. Welcome to the Books of Genesis. This is where we break down a section of one of the books of Genesis bit by bit, and this time we are on part 2, as Tony said at the top of the show, of our armaments and armor quick design rules that are presented in the Keyforge Secrets of the Crucible book. Start on page armor section. Starts on page 142. So last time we talked about the weapons. This time we're going to be talking about the armor. Let's see. So basically, what we'll talk about here is we're going to go through, like the basic armor on table 3-3. Starts with a starting profile for your armors. Now, keep in mind, there are a lot of different types of species that are in the Crucible, right?
Oh, yeah.
Anywhere from your amoeba there, Tony, to, I don't know, little Martians to, maybe
incorporeal beings. Yeah.
A little my 10-sided die here, or something, right? So you want to keep that in mind. The body type might not necessarily fit a member of a species, but this is gonna pretty much try and cover all of the different aspects of armor to give you that protection, whatever species you may have. So I think the best way, Bart, to start is let's go over what are these basic armors that we can start with. What do we have here, gentlemen? Who'd like to start that?
Well, I'll start.
Okay.
So the first entry, simple enough, is standard clothing. 0 defense, 0 soak, 1 encumbrance price, starting base price of 10 ambits. And again, that's unit of measure, whatever you want to use. And a rarity of 0. Now, rarity will come into play for some things, but not really for this, I don't think. Unless your GM has a limitation on what he wants for the total rarity of an item.
Right.
But yeah, that's not much to that. And then the second entry, I'll go ahead and read that, and then I'll let you do the other two, Stefan. Second entry is durable clothing, which is similar. It's got 0 defense, but it's got some a little bit of soak to it. With 1 soak, it's still encumbrance 1, 50 ambits base price, and a rarity of 1. Stefan.
Yep. Then we go to actual armor. There is light armor, still 0 defense, but this time we go up to +2 soak, an encumbrance of 2, a little bit pricier, of course, at 500 bits, and base rarity of 2. And then finally, the heavy armor. This has a bit more weight to it, more substance. It has 1 defense and +3 to your soak. And then 3 encumbrance, a bit heavier, base price of 1,200 ambits, and a rarity of 4.
Yeah, so you probably have like those armor plates and whatever.
Yeah,
give you that defense or whatever. Yeah.
That's it. Some hardened plates on the shoulders, a breastplate perhaps.
Awesome. All right. So yeah, so once you selected your basic armor, what your armor is going to start with, then like the weapons, you'll want to start selecting the traits. Now these traits are not if you're using like the hard points and attachments system, these are not attachments, they're not those things.
No.
These are separate. These are abilities that you can activate with your I think in the Crucible you can activate it by eating the amber, consuming it, or whatever you may consume. So like I said before, a lot of these armors, should be designed for your specific character, whether it's a small little Martian or a big Saurian, large Saurian or whatever.
One of those big giants.
One of the big giants, yeah.
Or, unlike a certain movie, if you have your balls on your chin, you're going to have armor plating there.
Yeah,
Because these are designed to protect your soft bits.
That's right.
No matter where your soft bits are, what race you are. So if you're a ball chinian, you get a nice codpiece chin guard.
Exactly.
Or those armored turtleneck colors.
Yeah, and these traits are selected right now when you create the armor, when you get this set of armor, and they can't be added on later. Like we said, they don't count towards the adding attachments or those types of things. But there are some limitations here. There's the table of them, table 3, 4. But there are a couple of limitations here. One is no matter what the trait does for the armor, it cannot reduce the encumbrance value below 1. Okay. And the final soak value cannot be increased above 4. I think that's, for the game balance there, right? Because you need to have at least an encumbrance. And you can't have too much of a soak.
And there's still the hard Genesis rule of you cannot have higher than 4 defense also.
Yeah, 4 defense dice,
right.
yeah.
Right.
And that's just a hard Genesis rule. There's no more than 4 defense dice. So
right. And then every set of these armors should have up to 3 traits. Though, of course, the GM has final say on that. So then, once you've gone through and selected your traits, you should decide on, its final shape, form, function. There are a couple of neat questions here. Is it a relic from your character's lost planet? Is it something that's, a fabled smith gave to your character on their dying breath or whatever?
Sorry to interrupt, Chris. One little phrase I like in the paragraph, just where it says every set should have about 3 traits. Under that, it says members from a common culture are likely to wear armor that has at least 1 characteristic trait in common. So that could almost represent like a uniform almost.
Oh yeah.
That kind of neat too to remember that, especially if the GM is creating an armor for some NPCs.
It's a good point. Definitely a good point there.
Right on.
Yeah.
Well, table 3-4 is chock full of magical goodness. Do we want to go into each one of those?
Sure.
Why not? Yeah, we did that for the weapon. Let's do it for the armor.
Why not?
Or else the armor will be jealous. So.
Right on. Well, I will kick it off with the first one, and that is the adaptive. This is protective wear is designed to quickly respond to incoming threats. So think that the pinpoint defense kind of thing. Flowing and reforming itself automatically to respond to attacks. As a maneuver, the wielder consumes 1 ember, or whatever fuel you decide, and then the armor gains the reinforced quality until the end of the encounter. Now, this is expensive. It is the most expensive upgrade on the chart.
How many flapjacks? How many flapjacks?
It is 25 smackaroons. 2,500. Sorry,
2,500.
That's a lot of flapjacks, man.
But yeah, it is the most expensive one on the table. Wow, because it gives reinforced, which is a big deal.
Armor can't break.
No break into armor.
It makes it a little hard. Yeah, it makes it a little heavier too.
Right on. Yep, +1 encumbrance. Okay. What's next?
Good stuff.
All right. The next one is anti-grav. So, of course, falling is always a danger. People working in heights or flying. So, regardless of their occupation, so armor designed to protect against such risk can use a variety of technological approaches, whether it's as simple as a parachute all of a sudden opening, or a magical effect of tiny little wings on one's ankles, slowing down one's fall. So when a character wearing this armor suffers a fall, reduce the damage band for determining falling damage by 2. So if he falls from long range, he would fall from short range.
Nice.
And if the range is reduced below short, the user suffers no falling damage.
Awesome.
And that doesn't cost so much, 150. So yeah, and no encumbrance, just the effect of reduce falling damage by 2 steps, by 2 range bands. Sorry.
Cool.
All right.
Cool.
What's next on the list, Chris?
It's called Armageddon. It can completely heal the wearer for 900 bottles of water. If that would be your currency in a survival setting or whatever. This is interesting. Okay, this is basically your oh shit, I don't want to die. Oh, and once you use this ability, well, it's just a standard set of clothes now, basically. I mean, it's pretty cool. Costs you 900 for it, but hey, it'll keep you from dying from that catastrophic event. What it might be. If you forgot to have that anti-grav part, and you fall, you won't. It. So basically, as an incidental, you can fully heal all strain and wounds and remove all critical injuries. It immediately takes place. Yeah, what's that?
And it removes conditions too, like
death,
immobilized, staggered.
This effect automatically and immediately takes place if the wearer dies. Yeah, so it will remove that death condition as well. So that's a good one.
Nice. All right, next one is attractive. The clothing or armor is fashionable. It's fashioned to really bring out the refractions in the wearer's eyes or enhance their distinctive scent. I'm wearing musk armor. A character wearing this armor with this trait adds a boost die to their first charm check they make in each encounter.
Yeah.
And on the table, it says just adds boost die to first charm check. 25 mbits. Not a lot. Cheap.
No.
There you go.
But it's very specific, so that's what.
Musk armor.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
Musk armor. It's a thing. That's right.
Chanel number 5.
Musk armor. That's great.
I
will have 2 of your musk armors, please.
Yes.
I have 50 water bottles here. Good.
All right. Then the next one is bone weave.
I could see where you would get that wrong. I understand.
Well, yeah, exactly. Well, I spent the weekend with my sexy gaming hole. So.
Yep. Oh my.
Oh yeah. So this and on stage. Yep. What happens at Boromir's Keep is on the Finding the Narrative podcast.
Apparently.
Apparently. No, okay, seriously. No, there's a bone weave. So reinforcements crafted from bone or similar materials provide the armor with additional protection. So in this case, it adds +1 to soak, but +2 to encumbrance for an extra 250 macaronis.
Nice.
Because bone, I guess, would be very cumbersome to fashion.
Mhm.
So you get that plus soak, +1 to soak for an additional encumbrance cost.
I'd even give it a boost die on intimidation checks, to be honest with you. For
Yeah,
people who
good.
are particularly affected by people wearing other people's bones.
Well, yeah,
Those are the
especially
bones of my people. What?
Yeah, especially
You
if the
know?
bones are dragons. A
Well,
little bit of that lingering dragon fear going through.
maybe. That
Never
could
know.
be a circumstantial. That could be a circumstantial boost die too.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you're wearing fairy bones, but you're dealing with this. They're not going to
Probably
care
not.
that you're wearing
Right.
fairy bones. But you're wearing
Oh.
fairy bones and you're dealing with the untamed. It's going to
Well,
matter.
It probably
Yep.
would. Yeah.
They'll go, hey, wait a minute. That's
Yeah.
not nice.
That's
Yeah.
my Uncle Carl.
Yeah.
I know. I'm a phrenologist.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's it. So there you go. Bone weave. What's next, Tony? Chris. What was it, Tony?
We have a brainwave interface trait for this type of armor. Costs 800 of the units of ambits, but it'll allow the wearer to control items attached to the armor. So whatever devices you may have integrated with your armor, you can control them at the speed of thought. Nice. And it will basically provide an advantage to results of a combat check made to use a weapon that's integrated with the armor. Because of that, speed of thought, shooting at weapons or whatever, using those weapons. So that's kind of cool.
Yep. Very nice.
But you have to think in Russian or something, right? What was that movie? That was Firefox or
Yeah.
whatever it was. Yeah.
Next one is chaotic. A field of disruptive lights plays over this armor, projecting a subliminal fractal pattern and symbols that disorder rational thought. Dude, your armor is hurting my brain.
Yeah.
The wearer can spend a maneuver to activate or deactivate this trait. So it's on-off. And while it is active, the armor adds a setback die to all social checks targeting the wearer. That's pretty good.
Because their head hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Targeting you with their thoughts.
You
That's
making
it.
my brain hurt.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, that one is going to cost you 150 mbits. And
Right.
it reduces the encumbrance of the armor by 1.
Nice.
Oh.
All right.
Very good. The next one is electromagnetic joints, and not those kinds of joints, actual like elbows and knees and stuff. So many enterprising adventurers have adapted Logos cybernetic joint technology to armor, which allows them to change in and out of their armor with the press of a button. So, and you may also program the joints to resist certain pressure thresholds that help the wearer block attacks from far stronger opponents. It's kind of cool. So the characters don and shed the armor as an incidental. Pretty quick when you were sleeping and your friend was on watch and he failed to notice the creeping threats. And then while wearing this armor, they gain melee defense with 2 instead of 1 when they perform the guarded stance maneuver. That's one of the maneuvers that not a lot of players that I've seen use. Sometimes they forget about it. But it's there. So that might help them remember that maneuver. And
Yeah.
that costs only 350.
Not bad. Not bad.
Yep.
So next we have enhanced, which costs 50 Pop Tarts, if that is your unit of currency, if you wanted to use those. It'll add a boost die to non-combat brawn or agility-based checks. So
I like boost dice.
yeah, you do, and it just basically provides a wearer with greater strength and speed, which I don't know. Why limit it to non-combat checks? I don't know, probably for balance, but I'm thinking because you're probably only limited to 3 traits, I would, if you bought a second enhanced, I would include combat, brawn, and agility based checks, a boost die to anything. I would say, because
Sure.
it's really, you'd only be able to, you're using 2 of the traits, right? Of your 3.
Yeah. Yeah, you could do that.
You can limit it a little bit.
Would be fair.
I don't know. Sometimes things just doesn't make sense to me. Sometimes these.
Yeah, that's a good
But-
suggestion. Yeah, you can try it, and
Something
if
like
it's not balanced, you chuck it.
Mhm.
Allow the player
Or you make it more
to rip
expensive.
on.
Or you just make it more expensive.
A lot more expensive.
Mm.
Think so?
Maybe like-
Think it'd be that much?
I'd triple the cost.
150? 200?
I'd-
Pop-Tarts?
I would triple the cost easily.
Easily. Yeah,
Not double it, triple it.
that works.
Next
What's
one is ether. So yeah, it's for putting people to sleep, right? No.
Mm.
The ether is a cloud of sedative gas can be made to emerge from the suit.
So it is.
So it is for putting people to sleep.
Yeah.
Though the substitute is filtered away. Sorry, the substitute is filtered away from the wearer's own respiratory system. The wearer can spend maneuver to activate or deactivate this trait. While active, other engaged characters suffer 1 strain to start of their turn.
Mm. Nice.
Just have a bunch of gas around you.
I'm just
gas around you.
Spewing knockout gas everywhere I
Yeah.
walk. The ether trait only costs 1 to 100 bottle caps. Yeah, that's it.
That's great.
I'd say you could change the kind of the look or the trapping of this, and like the armor is so bland, it's boring. It just puts people to sleep. It's like it makes you seem boring. It's like, this guy's so blah, putting me to sleep.
Wow.
Armor of apathy.
Yeah, I don't want to fight this guy. He doesn't
Gosh.
parry. He doesn't parry well. He's just standing there. Ugh. Hey, so there you go.
Right on.
Then we've got flame wreathed. Flame wreathed sigils creates an aura of flame around the wearer, often taking the form of flaming wings or tendrils that automatically protect the wearer from nearby attackers. So the wearer can spend a maneuver to activate or deactivate as well. While it's active, the armor gains 1 defense. Also, if they are targeted by a melee combat check, the user may spend a despair from that attacker to suffer. So that attacker suffers 4 wounds from the intense heat.
Nice.
Yeah, and when making a combat check, they can spend a triumph to also inflict 4 heat-based wounds onto that target. And they say being covered in flames may have other narrative effects as well, such as setting stuff on fire.
Right. And having your enemies scream to death
Yeah,
as they
or-
melt.
Yeah, or melting your chocolate cake that you wanted to eat. So this costs 525. Like I said, +1 defense, and can inflict heat-based wounds on an engaged enemy.
Nice.
And a little bit, I could say see this as not just melee attacks. They say they specify melee, but could be brawl attacks. I mean, if you're actually having some guy in a double Nelson, that could be a searing double Nelson.
Could be.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, I think it's implied when it says
I
a
think
melee
so.
Yeah.
combat check.
Yeah,
It means both the brawl skill and the 2 melee
True.
skills.
true. Yeah,
Yeah.
the word melee is not capitalized, so it's not the actual
It's
melee.
not skill specific.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right. So there you go.
Cool. Well,
What's next, Tony? Oh, Chris, sorry.
next is, do I need to put that like brain, what was that thing, that brainwave interface on you? No.
I think so. Yeah.
So guarding, is next, which will give you a +1 soak, and when you consume an ember, you can allow your allies within short range to gain defense of 1. And this is for 400 ambits for this. And scrolling down to the flavor text here, yeah, this seems like it's more of a how would you flavor this as what this may look like? It says embodies the values of kinship and mutual defense, reminds its wearer of their commitment to protect the sacrifice for the greater good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a maneuver. It's a maneuver to consume the ember, then to grant your allies a defense while you're engaged with them.
Imagine a whole phalanx of guys with this type of armor, where they just kind of stand in a wall, and all of a sudden the armor all links up.
Oh yeah. Oh, by the way,
Wakanda forever.
Yeah, there's a discrepancy here from the table and the flavor text. By the way.
Yep. Go ahead and cover it.
One says engaged, the other one says short range. I'd go with the engaged instead of short range. When somebody's engaged with you, you get the defense. That makes more sense.
Yeah, and guarding also increases the armor's soak by 1 as well.
Yes, yeah, that's in the table.
Yeah.
But this maneuver, I would go with the engaged, I would think. So,
yeah.
All right.
Or like your ether thing, not ether, which was the other one you said that you could add it twice for the enhance, add twice guarding, and that could increase the range to short.
Or just read the errata and see if they've fixed it yet, because they probably have.
They might have.
So,
they might have.
Because we still, I know I'm sitting on a first printing of the book, and I haven't updated my PDF either in a long time. So
I'm looking at the PDF right now, and I can't remember the last time I've updated it. So, all right. Well, what's next there, Tony?
Insulating. So this one, this protective gear is capable of maintaining a steady internal temperature, protecting its wearer from external variations. And now that means that it is going to increase its encumbrance by 1 because, it's a little heavier, but it protects you from heat and cold. What it means by that is the armor reduces the difficulty of resilience checks made due to heat and cold and other extreme climates by 2 to a minimum of a simple, that is a 0 difficulty check. This is one of the rare times that something will be reduced to 0. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
If it's insulating against, say, radiation, resilience saving throw against radiation, because we've covered radiation in our post-apocalyptic settings.
Yeah.
That's nasty.
Yeah.
Can be, definitely.
Yeah. And that one is another 50 credits and bits. So.
Yep.
Stefan, you want the flamboyant one?
Oh, of course. Seems to be in my wheelhouse. So I had the flame wreath. Now I've got the kaleidoscopic. So the user's appearance seems to colorfully flicker and fragment, and targeting them is almost impossible. So the wearer can spend a maneuver to activate or deactivate the trait. And while it's active, the armor gains a deflective 3 and adds 2 setbacks to stealth checks.
Yeah, because you're fabulous.
Well, exactly. I'm making my entrance, Mr. DeVille. And that costs 400, but you can't put a price on such a fashion statement. So
you absolutely cannot.
But but 3 deflection, that means 3 points of defense.
You ever seen my Bifrost armor?
Yeah. Yeah.
Which actually brings us to this little quote by Dodger here, right next to kaleidoscopic. It says, "Armor's all well and good, but don't let it get in the way of the work. If you can't pull off a job when you're wearing it, it's not good armor."
Yeah.
So
the kaleidoscope may not be good. Yeah, a break and entering job might not be Unless you're the one creating the distraction.
I was gonna say you're the
There you
perfect
go.
distraction.
Yeah. We need a distraction. Okay. Activate.
Take your
There's
boom box out in front of the building, kick it on.
That's
Suddenly
right.
you're the dazzler.
right.
It's in the air tonight, baby.
Yeah. And
I
while
was
they're
thinking
shooting
Might
at
be in
you,
your eyes. It's in your eyes too.
Yep.
Okay, I was thinking like young hearts run free from like the
Well,
from the,
I was thinking from say anything, but hey,
no, if you're gonna be flamboyant, you got to have something like,
well, there's that.
like a perfect example. Thor Ragnarok, the music that was playing when they were taking off in the spaceship.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
my birthday.
Fireworks going off. But it was hard to target that ship.
It was.
Well,
They had a lot going on.
Yeah. Like, what the hell is going on?
But that's a perfect example of it. It gave it deflective 3, but you couldn't miss it. It lit up the sky.
Oh, yeah. It was there. You couldn't hit it, but you can't miss it either.
What's next, Tony?
Okay, we have what's called the lupine. Basically, allows you. There you go, Stefan. Well done.
No, that was actually that was a coyote right outside.
Alrighty then. So it basically allows you to better notice threats, even when conditions would interfere with your senses. It'll remove a setback die from perception checks for 50 pieces of 8. If that's what your unit of measure currency is.
That could be enhanced sensors. That could be a wolf pelt that's been enchanted. That you gain the senses of a wolf.
It could be on your musk armor there, Tony,
Yeah.
if you want
Oh, yeah.
lupine on your musk armor.
Give me, and I could make it flame wreathed, and we'd theme it as like hellhound skin.
Yeah.
Oh, hells to the yeah.
Right on.
What's next there, buddy?
Prehensile weapons frame. Say that 5 times fast. Okay, so despite their relatively small nature, Martians prefer to wield the largest weaponry available.
That's so awesome.
Most of their armor incorporates some technology used to create a strong yet flexible limbs of their walkers to take the weight of oversized weaponry, and that's what this does. So the prehensile weapons frame has game statistics of it reduces one's ranged weapon cumbersome rating by 1 and encumbrance by 4, making those big guns easier to tug around. It's 500 smackerinos. So, yeah. Those Martians, though, I mean,
Yeah.
money. Who needs it?
That's it.
World domination is much more important.
Well, that's it. I can carry my big gun and shoot you with. Then I take your money. I'll take your ambits. All right. Next up is the psychic armor trait.
The psychic.
Yeah, you knew I was going to say that, weren't you?
Of course.
Yes. So this armor's protection extends beyond the physical realm, bolstering the wearer's mental strength as well. I know a few people who need psychic armor. Anyway.
You mean people who need their psychic strength enhanced?
Yeah.
Their mental strength?
Yeah, I know a few people. Anyway, this one costs 300, and the mechanics effect is that it adds a boost dice, which I always love, 2 discipline checks.
Cool.
So some kind of, maybe headband that reinforces one's defenses against distractions and so forth. So.
Cool.
Mhm.
All right. Well, next we have the quantum trait, which will add an encumbrance. Will give you defense 2, but it costs 250 ambits to redirect energy from close combat attacks into Tony's ether that's surrounding his armor. Oh, into the ether, into Netherland. into the nethers.
Whoa.
Whoa,
Whoa.
hello.
Not my
Look out.
nethers.
Not my nethers either.
Nether regions? No.
Yeah, so yeah, it's like it just kind of redirects attacks, energy attacks coming in somewhere else. So
Yep.
Coolio doesn't suck. Those setback dice always helps. Can't get
Right.
hit, you won't take damage. So what do we got
Right
next
on.
here, Tony?
Oh, rockets.
Well, yeah.
So this is interesting. It allows the wearer to jump to any location within long range. 800 mega coins.
Nice.
So this suit has blast engines affixed to various joints and locations, increasing the wearer's mobility. The trait enables the character to stand up from prone as an incidental, so it doesn't tell you that in the chart. But it also says once per encounter here, the wearer may instantly move to any unobstructed location within range. So it is limited. You don't have a lot of jump juice.
No.
So when it says unobstructed, are we talking straight line?
Well, I mean, you can't leap through a closed door.
Right.
It's basically saying,
Over a fence.
unobstructed.
Mhm.
You can't be. It can't be blocked. You can't just. It's not
Right.
teleportation.
Gotcha. Cool.
Nice. All right. So the next one is scaly. These thick scales dampen impacts while also providing significant reinforcement to the armor. So the mechanical effects on the table is +1 soak, +1 encumbrance for 325 scales.
For Serpentor.
Yes.
Serpentor.
All hail set.
Nice. Thanks, Tommy.
What's next? Yeah.
All right.
Chris?
Well, for the low bargain price of 100 golf balls, you could seal your armor, but it'll cost you 1 encumbrance to do it, though. Now, what does that mean when it's sealed?
Sealed and scaly.
Yeah, sealed and scaly. It's basically a full body suit to protect you from hazardous environments. It'll
Like musk
supply
armor.
you with musk. Well, the musk might be on the inside. If it is, watch out. It'll provide you with an hour of independent supply of atmosphere, appropriate for your respiration. Protects you from airborne toxins, vacuum, and drowning.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't suck.
Right.
So
Yeah, right.
that would
Kind
be
of like a space suit or diving suit. Yeah.
Hmm. So unlike what was that one that you went over, Tony? Unlike insulating, it does not provide you protection against the extreme climates. It's basically going to seal you from airborne toxins. And if you are in space, outer space, this would be your sealed. You would want the sealed quality if you want to be able to do those spacewalks or whatever. You would want your armor
want
to
both.
be sealed.
If you're thinking of a standard spacesuit, it would be insulated
You would,
and sealed.
you would, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Okay, next is shunting. So, shunting is some armors contain methods of reducing damage by shifted it to anyone nearby. I think that's a typo.
A little bit typo, yeah.
Shifting it to anyone nearby, a friend or a foe. Which can make for hasty apologies. I like that. The wearer suffers a critical. When the wearer suffers a critical injury, reduce the result by 30% to a minimum of 0-1. And all characters within short range then suffer 2 wounds.
That is great.
That one is very thematic.
Yeah.
So, and it adds 1,250 collectible bobbleheads to your cost.
Wow. And potential of damaging your buddies. That is great.
Although that could be good for a frontline fighter when he's just wading through minions.
Right on.
Yeah, that is true.
All right. What's next?
Good one.
The next one is silent. There's noise dampening devices within the armor that counter any sound that the wearer produces. So it adds a boost dice. Again, I like boost dice, so shh, don't tell anyone. But it adds a boost dice to your stealth checks. Shh.
What?
And it only costs, very, very small amount, just 50 mbits. Don't tell everyone because they'll all want some.
Awesome. Now our next
What's
one.
next, Chris?
Our next one is smoking. This one makes you look good. Oh, wait a second. Not that kind of smoking. You basically have a bunch of douche flutes all over your armor. That's just kind of out there, right?
Yeah.
Providing a nice smoke screen, fog, bank around you, giving you a defensive one. Adding a setback die to any perception checks to notice you for the low cost of 150 of those douche flutes. And basically you can spend a maneuver to activate or deactivate the trait. So, and there's a note here, GMs, at your discretion, this may not work within some environments or in some weather conditions. So, I would say in heavy wind conditions, maybe, in a hurricane or wherever, probably won't work.
Near a tornado.
Near a tornado, that's right. So.
Underwater, maybe. Might be. Unless it's adapted for water. That's another matter.
Underwater, maybe.
Just squid
maybe
cloud,
not.
maybe.
True.
Yeah,
that is true.
Next.
But it doesn't say anything about. But the thing is, it doesn't say anything about you being able to see out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It creates this fog cloud around you, but it doesn't say anything about you being able to see outside of the cloud. So it seems like it may provide that setback die to you as well. I don't know.
Could be.
A little confused on that a little bit. So
I don't think it should hinder the player who has
I
it.
don't
They
think
probably
so.
have a method to get around it, to see around it.
think so.
Whether it's shaped away from their eye sockets or whether it's they have built-in see you can special visuals in the armor, whatever.
Yeah, it would almost have to be a full body one too, right? Because if there's this fog or haze around you, wouldn't want to.
Magical.
Could be magical. Yeah.
Where
you could. It's a one-way fog, right? You can see out. They can't see in. Yeah.
Yep. So next is spiked. So this armor is covered. This is Brobnar armor. This armor is covered in nasty barbs, spikes, making foes think twice about charging the wearer. If you want to add, you want to add this to your, musk armor. You got your skunky pine armor, which pretty badass. When targeted by a melee combat check, the wearer may spend 3 threat or a despair to cause the attacker to suffer 3 wounds. So, I impale you on my armor spikes.
On the spiky bit. Yeah.
That's right. Nice.
All right. What's next?
Right.
Oh, cost of that. Hold on. The cost of spiked is 200 mbits.
Right. All right. Next to last is the subtle trait. This one actually makes your armor a little less cumbersome, so -1 encumbrance. It removes a setback dice from social skills checks related to wearing the armor for only 50 mbits as well. So the armor is integrated into normal garments in such a way as its protective nature isn't obvious.
Mithril, sure.
Yeah. Or, the legendary almost protective vest under the secret agent, the three-piece suit. It doesn't show armor. So the nature of this protective gear is not immediately noticeable. So thus removing the setback from social skill checks that, people might react negatively when they see you wearing armor. So if they just think you're wearing regular clothing, they might not be so apprehensive.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And last, Chris, what's next?
Last would be the second most expensive trait on the table here, costing you 2,000 flapjacks to be able to fly. It'll increase your encumbrance by 3. You'll have to consume an ember or 1 slice of bacon to allow you to fly. Whatever you want with that. But when you do, oh my gosh, you can have a majestic formation of feathers or metal or energy extended from the back of your armor there. As a maneuver, you can consume that piece of bacon, and you go to the core rulebook on page 100. You will get the fly capability for in the encounter or in the narrative scene, though your GM might call for a piloting check in a dangerous condition. And of course, a despair would result in it being depleted at the end of your character's turn, and you've run out of flight power. Oh yeah, and it says also means that if your character doesn't make it to a solid ground by that point, they're in for a fall. So yay!
Right.
Yay for the despairs.
Well, hopefully you have that attachment that helps you shorten the falls.
Yeah.
Well, like we did last time, guys, we kind of did a cool known weapon out there.
Before we go into that, though, I have one quick go back, though. I had a
okay.
note on one of these called shunting, and just nobody listens to this or whatever. The last sentence in this on the shunting description, it says all characters within short range suffer 2 wounds. Characters, that means any bad guys and good guys in the area, not just PCs. We're talking NPCs, bad guys and good guys, right?
Right on.
Okay, so then this book basically characters is anything with a wound threshold would take up 2 wounds.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Just wanted to make that clear because when I first read it, I was thinking, oh, that's kind of cool. You get this ability, but you can only wound your buddies.
Yeah.
Right on.
So,
nope. Makes good sense.
That's it. They do mention in the paragraph just above that it shifts to anyone nearby, friend or foe.
Right on.
Right. Okay. Got it.
So
it can be a blessing or
yeah, exactly.
Or bane.
All right, Tony, go for it.
So going on with what we had done last time, where we made the gun from the Fifth Element movie, right. I've chosen a very iconic armor creation montage where in the Iron Man Mark II suit. Now that is as it's being manufactured before the weapons have been added. So we need to decide what 3 qualities do you think this would get, gentlemen?
Mm-hmm.
I have a list here.
All right.
But
go ahead. I think.
Okay. I'm thinking first, Chris mentioned it earlier that it was a brainwave interface, but we could reskin that to be an AI interface because he, Jarvis is attached and he's running systems separately and doing all kinds of things on his own via voice command. which is the same as pretty much thinking the thoughts. So
Yeah.
I think that a brainwave interface would be cool.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Yep. Then an easier one. It's a flight suit, so
Yep.
it would have the winged quality, but it would be reskinned to be the hand and foot thrusters.
Yeah.
Not necessarily wings,
Definitely.
but it does have all the readjustments in the
You
armor
fly.
to make it more
Yeah, it's good.
aerodynamic.
Right?
Yeah, the
Yep.
flaps and
Definitely
the
flaps.
airfoils.
And I'm thinking one
Yep.
more. What do you guys think? I have
I was thinking either the sealed one or the insulating. Either one of those two would work, or enhanced. To be honest, definitely gives them more brawn and agility. I think
Okay.
any one of those three would be appropriate. I think.
I think sealed for sure. And of course, this being an NPC's armor, you could add more.
Mhm.
But yeah, sealed definitely, because he's environmentally sealed. He goes up into the thin atmosphere. He isn't losing his ability to breathe, but when he gets up in the real thin atmosphere, it starts to ice over. And I wouldn't say it's insulated. He's getting cold up there.
I know. Yeah, I know.
That's
So-
it.
So yeah. And then you could add enhanced as a GM. You'd be like, yeah, this has enhanced too. So
Yeah.
probably. I mean, money isn't a problem for the creator of this armor.
Right.
No,
So-
and it would start, maybe would start as heavy armor, as just as a
Almost
base
sure.
already. So it already has defense and soak.
Right on. Exactly.
Yeah. So you probably wouldn't need. What else did they have
Yeah,
in
like-
here? You probably
well,
would need
there's
like.
scaly. You didn't need to add that.
Well, it wouldn't have scaly. True.
No, yeah, you don't need. You could have a variation of scaly, like reinforced, plates or whatever, adamantium plates or vibranium.
But I mean, he probably rolled a despair on his opening flight.
Yeah,
And crashed it.
True.
So I mean, and he survived the crash.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he could have had anti-grav, right?
So he might have had
Mhm.
the anti-grav too.
Exactly.
Surviving that crash. So
Or was it Armageddon?
could be.
could be Armageddon.
Well, that Armageddon feature didn't help him later on, so it must not have been built
Oh,
in.
that's
it had
true,
to have
it
been
did.
You forgot that one.
That's right.
You didn't have any ember. You burned all of his embits.
That's true. And no matter what fuel source you choose, if you're using this for another system, make it something that the players are going to have access to, be able to use one or two in the encounter, so that they can power their weapons and armor during in any given encounter.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
sounds
pretty much a
Maybe the Mark
pretty
II.
solid system.
I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
I mean, this is
Yep.
much cleaner than the weapons. Most of these upgrades make sense.
Yeah, and even the more outlandish ones like shunting or lupine, you can still reskin in some way, ether or or
The
smoking.
lupine. I could definitely see a ability to go into like a night vision mode or whatever with that
Oh yeah,
to help with perception checks for sure.
Oh,
Mhm.
I'm thinking,
definitely.
like for instance, one of the bat suits in Batman had sonar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There
So
you go.
it's totally reskinnable to be sonar or extra sensory, any kind of extra sensory perception.
I would
Exactly.
even go so far as it could have the attractive trait too, adding to charm checks if you're wearing the armor. If we're talking to Mark II, right?
Oh.
It being very popular in that
Well,
genre, right?
That one was really just kind of shiny silver. And bleh.
yeah. Well, yeah.
Well, that's true. The Mark II. If we're talking Mark II. Yeah, okay. It wouldn't
Yeah.
be attractive. No.
Yeah, it didn't have the paint job yet. So.
No,
True, it
didn't have the
did
race
not.
car colors.
No.
It did
No.
not. But the race car one, that
Oh,
probably have the attractive.
Right on.
Yeah, everyone after every other armor after that, yeah, definitely.
All right, folks.
Excellent.
Well,
That's fun.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's
Fun building that up. That's cool.
that is our Books of Genesis segment.
Let's close the book.
Welcome to Adventures Threats. This is where we build, roll, and narrate some die results on a sample skill check or encounter for your entertainment and ours. This time, I'm going to continue the little scenario that I ran for Stefan and Chris last time, in which they were recovering some stolen missiles for a Martian crime boss using the pre-gen characters that I had for my Chrysalis Crisis adventure that I wrote for the Con on the Cob 2017, I think, way back.
Mm-hmm.
So again, refresh them. Who are you two playing? Chris, let's start with you.
I am playing Zane Toony Toons. He is he's from Luna. He is a con artist. He knows a guy, and he'll be able to get you what he wants. He can get in, break out, and he has his muscle with him, and he's glad he does.
And who would be his big muscle gal?
That's Pandora, love. If you need something breaking, I can do it. I have the big guns and the big arms to do so.
Very nice.
Like,
So last time, you guys successfully beat the skill challenge. So when doing a skill challenge, there's success means this, failure means this. Failure on your skill challenge means that you guys had to gun your way out. You're on the run, and you end up having to the crime boss sets the venue of your exchange, turning over the missiles to him. However, you guys succeeded at the skill challenge, which allows you to set up the venue. So, as players, please tell me where this encounter is going to occur.
well, I think we wanted to do it definitely on the Challenger rock here, since this the Martian crime boss will more than likely have his own area. He'll be here picking it up or whatever. Say a abandoned warehouse shuttle area nearby, to make the exchange. Right?
What do you think there, Pandora?
Yeah, Pandora, she called there, her former Colonel, what's his name? Colonel Ramsbottom, and he's used this shuttle bay hang as a waypoint, a gathering point for some of his missions. So he's not using it right now. So our meeting, and he's there. No, Comlink opened channel to him, so he's covering our rear, our six,
right,
along with our pilot.
Yes, and as a backup, we have Vinny the Duckworth, ace pilot extraordinaire, having a shuttle just in case we need to make that quick egress.
Nice.
Standing by.
Okay. So you guys have set up in this, we'll call it a hangar. It's a hangar. And it's inside a private dome on the outer edge of the Challenger planetoid, half a kilometer away from the McNair base where you stole the stuff. So we'll call it the very next morning from that. So you two have had time to recover strain completely.
Okay.
the crime boss who hired you was none other than Nyong'o Spear, a man of impeccable taste and African descent. Nyong'o Spear shows up in a gold long coat, gold trench coat. Looks to be made of some sort of golden silk.
Yeah.
Nice.
It is
Well done.
open clear to his waist, and all across his broad chest is a shimmering weave of neon lit armor weave cyberware. So his skin is visible as just body armor, right?
Nice.
And he's got his dreadlocks are kind of tied back because it's low gravity. He's not appeared to be affected by the low gravity at all.
Right. Like me.
Right. Probably because he's Martian.
Right.
Grew up on Mars where gravity was lower.
Have we ever had dealings with this guy before?
Well, he hired you, and you met him when he hired you in a cafe on Mars.
Yep.
Okay. And with him are his two beefy bioroids. He has a couple of Ken doll bioroids. They're beautiful specimens, but underneath they're just all, ferrofibrous muscle that just will tear you to shreds, limb from limb.
Yeah.
They're probably, well upgraded beyond your normal Ken doll type bioroid.
Well, I have my murderous Barbie doll walking beside me, so I'll be just fine.
And
Oi,
he approaches
how are
you, and you hear the ka-chunk, ka-chunk of his platform magnetic boots as he's walking up.
And we've got the missiles there, kind of displayed, or we'll open them when he approaches.
Pandora's sitting on the whole thing.
And he's aye,
laser cannon and a combat shotgun on her back.
He's aye, people, look at you. You've got my missiles.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do, love.
Excellent. Well, did you run into
no complications attached? No, sorry to interrupt. No complications were had, of course. We're professionals, love.
Fair.
In and out. Yeah, in and out like you do. Pot of tea.
Maybe you should have me talk through this one a little bit there, Pandora. Just a little bit.
Oh, sorry.
Very nice. I appreciate that. And it's always nice to hear the muscle talk now and again. But
that's right.
Yeah.
But like she said, gotta wait clean.
It's been a problem.
What?
All that money I promised you.
Uh-huh.
Some of that I had to eat on fuel costs coming here.
Well, that's not necessarily our problem, is it?
Oh, but see, I thought we would agreed we were going to meet on Mars. Wasn't that part of the agreement? Why'd you change the delivery point?
Didn't know that was the delivery point. Because the Dungeon Master here didn't tell us that was the delivery point. No.
No.
Or else we would have. But no.
You don't remember it in the negotiations. It probably was never said.
Well, that might have been a detail that may have left out there.
Please make a vigilance check.
Awesome. And the difficulty?
Difficulty is going to be his deception, which is cunning 3, 1 rank. So it is going to be 2 purple, 1 red.
Okay. I have 2 green and a red and the 2 purple. Would you like to do anything to this?
Well, you're doing this as this kind of a group for the first round group check. And so Pandora, do you have any cyberware like that records data, like a cyber eye or anything like that?
She's got.
Do you have any vigilance?
She has 1 rank in vigilance, and goggles, cybernetics, quick draw. She's got cyber legs and arms, cyber organs, but no cyber eyes. No.
What is your
Okay.
vigilance?
I think one green, 1 yellow.
Okay.
I could add at least a boost die.
Okay. So add a boost die.
Okay. Did you want to roll it, Stefan? Go ahead.
Help. No, you do it. You're the one
or you want
who's the main character. I'm just
Okay.
helping.
Well, if it's a combined check, then it would be a yellow, a green, 2 purple, and a red. Right? So we'd use her rank.
Oh yeah, if
My
you're
will.
using my rank.
Here we go.
Correct.
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
And I did not succeed. Actually, it would be 1 threat.
1 threat. Okay. So in this case, you're fuzzy
Yeah.
on the details there. And
Apologize
sure-
for that.
I'm sure I was on the moon, but maybe it was quicker to just meet here, love.
quicker for
Figured
you, yes.
Well, figured it'd be
yes.
Or quicker here than the moon for sure. You can get the jump from here directly to Mars.
Yes, we thought you could get a little swing back to Mars.
Well, here's the deal.
Or if you want, we can have a swing right here.
The agreed upon price, 50,000. I just can't pay it. All I've brought is 35.
Well, I mean, considering the what we had to go through, the costs we had to get the codes, to get the where the guards were going to be at certain timing, all this stuff. We both had our own expenses in this job. You can understand that.
Agreed.
Right? And besides, whatever you're going to be making so much more than that with these missiles anyways, right? I'm going to charm them.
Okay, so we're going into, and this is the round by round social encounter. Now, just that first opening was him opening it up.
Okay.
And you
So
make
would I take a
defensive check now in this round? So you will go, and I'm just going to have you both roll initiative first for this social encounter. You roll it normally. You knew this was coming, so you can. I'll let you choose between cool or vigilance, whichever you're better at. No difficulty, of course, and I'll roll for him. So in this case, he has a willpower of 3 and a vigilance of 3. So I'm gonna have 3 yellow dice. So 2 successes and an advantage for him.
Okay.
All right, well, I got the same thing. I just have 1 rank in vigilance and 2 in will. So that's a 1 yellow and 1 green, and I got 2 successes and an advantage.
Well,
Excellent.
I'm
So
definitely
players win ties.
I'm definitely a cool operator here. So,
Mhm.
and I've got a 4 presence, and I got 2 successes, 5 advantage.
Ooh,
Nice.
better.
So you guys definitely go before he does.
Cool.
Now, his bioroids, being there beside, do not engage in the encounter. They do apply when he wishes to use coercion. They provide him boost dice because you've seen them in action and they are deadly.
Mm-hmm.
So they provide boost dice to his coercion checks, and they provide you setback dice to coerce him.
Gotcha.
Because that that getting past them, he's not afraid.
Will not be easy. Yeah.
Right. So you automatically know if you're going to use coercion that you're going to have some setback dice. So
Nice.
that's been
Okay.
laid out. We'll begin. Go ahead with.
Actually, I think that's felt like a more of a negotiation check that I just did with him.
it does
Interesting.
because
Yeah.
you went.
So
This
do
is what our
negotiation.
costs were. This is what your costs
Mhm.
were.
So I'll do that. I'll go ahead and make that check first then. Okay,
Right.
there's Stefan. And
Oh,
then
yeah.
what's the
Yeah.
difficulty here? So I have 2 yellow, 2 green. What would be the difficulty? Negotiation. What's his negotiation?
Do you really want to know?
Yes, because I need it. Because I need the difficulty. Duh.
I know, but you're not going to like it.
That's okay.
I'm using a reskinned NPC card or adversary card from the game, so I'm just.
Yep.
He has a negotiation of 5
Mhm.
ranks and a
And-
presence of 4.
So 4 yellow, 4 red,
4 yellow.
and a purple.
Yeah.
4 red. and a
Okay. 4 red and a purple. Okay.
And I will not be upgrading.
Neither will I, because I'm planning on using that story point that I have to re-roll some dice if I need to. I can re-roll up to 2 of them with my resourceful talent. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Well, I succeeded.
Wow.
I succeeded with 1 threat.
How
It
many
looks
total
like
successes?
I'd have a net of 2 successes.
So he will be taking some strain.
Yep. And I get 1, and I generated 1 threat from that.
And your 1 threat will be a setback dice to Pandora because he's already dismissed her, but she's going to pipe in anyway.
Gotcha. Okay, Pandora, do your thing. What do you use?
Well, she's not a very social person.
So it wouldn't be ranged heavy.
Mm. No.
Doesn't mean she's not intimidating. She could coerce,
Could course a little bit.
but you know
Oh
how
yeah.
it's going to be as a player.
Well, yeah. No, she'll try. I don't know. I'm debating on that. Not that much of a negotiator or a leader either.
Would you rather just assist for your?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
She brings up just the occasional little point of things that may have cost or difficulties and things that she had to pull on favors of her own. But
so what we'll
just
do,
assisting.
because he only had the 1 threat. It was to go to the next friendly check.
Right.
So that'll be you next turn, Chris. You'll get the setback die that she didn't use, but you'll get a boost die from her.
Right.
For her
Do you want me to roll
assistance.
it now for this
No,
turn
no.
or not?
No, for the next one.
Because we don't get her turn. She's gonna assist.
Yeah.
So this round she doesn't do anything.
No. Not much.
That's what
Not
it sounds like.
actively. Yeah.
You're not doing anything this turn. Okay.
No, she's assisting for next turn. So if she assists again before you go, then she can, I'll probably let
Which
her have a
which
second
she's
or
doing now, right?
Right.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying if she's basically reinforcing what you're saying this round, and
Got it.
then if she does that again before you next round, where she just decides to do that, then I would say it's worth aiming. It's worth a second boost die.
Sweet. I'm gonna aim my muscle at him.
Yeah.
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 I think that works.
That works. Okay.
Narratively.
Right.
All right, so
That
it's his turn, and he too can negotiate. And he's like, I understand, but you understand this. Leaving my home, I was not expecting, renting a shuttle, and coming here. I mean, you stole the thing not a half a kilometer that way. It's really, really not the way we do business in this business. And he's just trying to negotiate.
Right.
So
What's he offering?
he's
35.
offering 35,000. You succeeded.
So he's still negotiating with this.
Yeah, he says,
Okay.
you know what, with what you've spent, I agree. You've done the hard part. I tell you what, I'll owe you. Maybe you can call on me for some hired muscle in the future.
Think about it. Let's see.
It's a minor favor.
Mm-hmm.
you scratched my back. I'll make sure yours gets scratched in the future.
Right.
Yeah,
Just
Pandora.
one of you, of course. Like, I like dealing with you. They're Toonie.
Pandora's looking at one of the Ken dolls, like looking. I'd like to get him to scratch my back.
Nice.
All right. So, what is your negotiation?
2 red,
again?
2 purple.
And I have 4 yellow and a green. Are you upgrading my check? I'm not.
How many points do we have? We
Uh,
have 2? 2 and 1?
2.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay.
Let's upgrade it.
So we'll toss out one of those purples and throw in another red.
Yeah.
All right. Oh my. I've never rolled this before.
Oh.
Do you have
I have
Yep.
3 despairs.
Oh, 3 despairs. My God.
Holy cats.
Wow. And?
And net success. So I had
One
net 2 successes and an advantage, 3 despairs. So he's going to do 3 strain to you. 2 strain, sorry. He doesn't get the extra. However, 3 despairs.
He had 1 net, you mean? Successor, how many? 2?
2. So 2 strain to you.
Got it.
At an advantage.
So he does succeed, let's say, maybe at least on his point. So
Yeah, but the 3 despairs. I honestly, I'm gonna, if you don't mind, guys,
I have
Got
one idea, at least for 1 despair. But go ahead, Tony.
that 3 shots ring out, and all 3 of them are dropped.
All 3 who?
Of them.
Oh.
Him and his 2 bodyguards?
Oh, okay.
Wow.
And
Okay.
your sniper,
Yeah.
your friend, the military guy, comes out, and he's got these really high-tech cyber eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, "Oh, that case is full of explosives. He
Oh.
wasn't going to pay you a penny. I've already had 2 of my friends go out and look. Your money's in the shuttle plus an extra 50,000.
Ah.
Oh. Well then.
That's 3 despairs. I mean,
Yeah.
I've never
Well,
rolled anything like that.
Yeah. I was going to suggest that maybe like the station security forces maybe we find out that some of them are closing in on the hangar and we have to negotiate faster, and that's making him
Well,
nervous.
That's actually pretty awesome. Well,
But without the explosives,
so we have these missiles.
That you
Don't
can
know
resell.
which we could resell somewhere else.
yeah.
Well, let's load them up into this guy's shuttle,
Yeah.
I guess, right? So we got a shuttle, we got some cash.
I mean, I'm sorry, it
Thanks.
was 3 despairs. I can't think of a better way.
Yeah.
I'm
Hey.
glad I upgraded.
Thank you very much, Colonel. I think that maybe extra 50,000 goes to you.
Whoa. Wait 1 moment. No. We agreed
Oh.
we agreed he would take 10. I'd say 15, sure.
Oh, but you saved our bacons, literally. I think
Yeah,
let's go up to 20.
5,000 each of these bodies. Yeah, that's great. Thanks, Colonel. Captain? Sergeant? No, absolutely not.
Oh, it's only money. We've got our own 50,000.
Oh, shut up. You're only an android.
No, she's not.
I know. I'm
She's a
cyborg.
You're
I'm
only
a
a cyborg
cyborg.
too. That's only a metal arm too.
They're both
And I smile
metal,
at
and
you.
so are my legs. And they can squeeze the life out of you. All right. You're
no.
the negotiator.
No.
We can talk about this on the shuttle.
Yeah, let's go on to the shuttle. Let's get out of here.
Come on, Colonel.
Yeah, no, that was, I mean, I can't think
That's
of
great.
You guys walk away
Yeah.
with double your money plus the missiles. That's, I mean, 3 despairs.
Nice. That's great. And then
Someone on
as
Luna
we're
will
leaving
buy it.
as we're leaving the hangar, yeah, he can have one missile. And so
Going 20,000 then, and
no, dude. So basically, Looney, his desire is wealth. His flaw is that he's greedy. Come on.
Yeah.
His
I
fear
know.
is poverty. No frickin' way, dude.
well, she's not, Pandora doesn't care that this guy's dead. It's like she hates Martians.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, he could care less
All right.
either. It's all good.
I'm
No,
sure we
that's
can
great,
find a
Tony.
buyer on Luna. Let's go to Luna.
So guys,
Go home. That was great. Thanks,
Uh,
Tony.
that went sideways.
Yeah.
But
Real
as
quick.
a GM, that's a great thing to point out. And we haven't had this happen on Advantageous Threats in a while. But
No.
what do you do as a GM? Now, Chris, if you had been GMing that and you got that role for an NPC in a social encounter, do you think you would have done it differently?
I would not have done it exactly like that, but I would definitely would have ended the social encounter, and it would have definitely have gone to the PC side in that
Yeah.
case. Absolutely, it would have.
Yeah.
There would have been no more, and yeah. Now, the way you did it, I thought it was great. You know,
It's for an
Regardless.
advantageous threat. It's not like for an ongoing campaign. If it had been for an ongoing campaign, I don't think I'd just kill the guy outright.
an ongoing campaign, you know, I probably would have done. So for an ongoing campaign, I probably would have done something like Vinny. And Vinny may have sliced into their shuttle, wired the money, let us know, or for some reason, you know, maybe
Or the colonel
You know-
could have just downed the 2 bioroids, leaving the guy alone. It's like, okay, now
Right,
we
I'm
have
thinking-
an upper hand.
I'm thinking
further on.
I'm thinking probably in that case, Vinny probably could have swapped out the cases in that you know,
Mm.
and he would have taken off, and boom, his shuttle would have exploded, and we'd have cash.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Nice.
Yeah, maybe
Kind of
arming the
old
missile,
switcheroo.
arming the missiles. At least arming one of the missiles when he's loading them, and when he goes away,
Eh,
boom, detonated from a distance.
something like that. Yeah.
Stefan, you had anything else you want to add that you might have done as a GM?
No, I think it was pretty good. Just a few additional ideas we just bounced around, but based off of that. But no, I think 3 big despairs on that. Yeah, definitely make him flub all of his his advantage in one way or another. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. A definite end to the social encounter. No chance for combat round 1.
No,
for
not
sure.
even.
Right.
No,
All right,
it was
folks.
pretty good. Thank you, Tony. That was a great one.
Yeah. Wow. That was the worst role I've ever had as a GM for Genesis. But still, it's still fun because it challenged me, and now, you know, as a GM down the road, I'm challenged of, well, you guys got this financial windfall. What are you going to do with it? Well, hell, I'd give you guys weeks in a casino and doing
heck
whatever
yeah.
you want to do, you know.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh, I want an apartment on Luna. Well, you can afford a penthouse on Luna now, you know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
At least for a little while.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah. All right. Well, that was our advantageous threats there, everybody. So, well done, Tony. Nice thinking on the feet. Quick thinking there.
Yep.
Very impressive. So, well, let's wrap this thing up, all right?
Yep. All right, so that was our episode 89, Armor Up. I hope you enjoyed it, and we had fun on our end. And our next episode, we continue our actual play series, and as Chris continues to GM Tony, Sean, and myself through part 4 of his Primeval Thule Secret of the Moon Door. Yes.
There
So
will
we'll see what
probably be
happens.
There will probably be a part 5, but
depends.
yes, that's
All right.
pretty cool. I'm having fun with that.
Very cool. Yeah, I'm having fun with my character as well. I'm having some fun there.
Nice.
No, not much listener feedback.
No news
recently. No news, unfortunately.
We did have one piece of listener feedback, but it was one that our next show topic is going to cover that we do for a regular show.
So I do have something to say.
Okay, go ahead.
And this is specifically aimed at anybody at Edge Studio. If you can hear this, if you are listening to this, if anybody listening out there knows somebody who works for Edge Studio, please let them know if the PDF is ready for the Twilight Imperium. Put it up on DriveThruRPG as soon as you fucking can. And don't wait for the goddamn Chinese holding the fucking books ransom. Okay? Put it out there. We want content now.
Yeah.
Well, Chris, we don't. I don't think that it is actually printed in overseas, but
doubt it. I'm pretty sure it probably might be.
I know Fantasy Flight, when they were in charge of the printing, they were printing in the U.S. for Genesis stuff.
Well, that's good.
So I don't.
Then hurry the fuck up.
Yeah.
I don't
last
know
time
for a fact that's what's holding it up.
Well, regardless, if there is an issue with, if there is an issue with shipping, and it is throughout the world right now, it costs you freaking nothing to put the PDF up on DriveThruRPG. So just freaking do it. You'll be surprised how many people will buy it.
So,
trust
not only buy the digital now, but will still return to buy the physical copy later.
Absolutely.
So I know every gamer I know wants.
I will definitely buy both. I will definitely buy a printed copy.
Well, that's it.
Yes.
Me too. Oh.
So
no need to wait for the PDF to be released. They did for Keyforge, I think.
So that's not necessarily
delay.
So that's not necessarily a finding the narrative thing. This is coming from Chris.
Right.
All right.
Yes. The opinions of Chris Palm do not represent the Finding the Narrative Genesis podcast.
My brother from
does
mother.
it?
I got his back.
We have that brain going on there, Tony. I know you're thinking the same thing.
Yeah. Oh, even I, so with all the shipping, I still don't have my physical copy of Keyforge because it's in the States at my friend Daryl's PO box.
Yeah. And come on, it's a different time now. I mean, with all the shipping and all the issues with all of that happening. PDF, the digital media now is where it's at. So put it up there. If PDF is done and it looks good, heck, even if it doesn't quite look good, come on. Just do it. We're ready for it. We are more than ready for it. Yep. So figured I'd just say that.
Yep. Well, there you go. That's,
hey, they've weathered the storm of 1,000 people asking them when we're going to get more Star Wars content. I'm sure they can weather the storm of us saying, "Give us some fucking books."
Yes, Genesis books. Come on.
Yeah, just us three chirping in the distance. Right. Anyway.
All right. This is Tony saying, reach out to us.
Yes, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Do you have something else?
No, sorry. I was just going to lead you into giving contact info. So go ahead.
Reach out to us. Tell us we're wrong to ask for the PDF first at Finding the Narrative Podcast gmail.com or on Facebook at Finding the Narrative or on Mayway at Finding the Narrative or on Twitter at FTN_Genesis or you could even leave us a comment on Podbean or iTunes or YouTube, where you can listen to us, as well as on Google Podcasts, Spotify, Audible, Amazon Music, and others.
Yeah, you can let us know that we're wrong for asking, but agree to disagree. Agree to disagree.
Oh yeah.
I'll set up a challenge to our listeners if they can. If you have a Twitter presence, take a picture of your worst GM or player role, similar to what Tony just did, and post it up there.
Very nice.
That is, that's awesome.
Tell us what the role was about and how you educated it.
Yes, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah,
Maybe we'll talk about those for our next listener feedback.
Yep.
Absolutely.
All right.
Challenge thrown. There you go.
Stony saying, let's tell a story and spend a story point because it's obviously going to help.
Yep. And this is Stefan saying, dare to ask for those boost dice or just aid someone to give them the boost dice. Love.
Right.
Aid.
That's right. And this is Chris telling you to remember the rule of cool and to bring your murder Barbie robot.
Let Pandora out of the
Cyborg.
box.
Cyborg with you whenever you can. And, just have fun doing it. Good night, everybody.
Good night, love.
Finding the Narrative, a Genesis RPG podcast, is not affiliated with or endorsed by any companies mentioned on this show. Any of the products mentioned on our show or appear on our website are the property and copyright of their respected owners. All items are used under fair use and educational and review purposes. All other items are the intellectual property of Finding the Narrative, a Genesis RPG podcast. Copyright
2021.
All rights reserved.